Hello, my friend. Welcome to the Artist Next Level podcast. Today, let's talk about Instagram. Yes, the gram. This is something I've been thinking about this last week. I wanted to share with you what I'm thinking about, ways of working with Instagram, what's new, what's important to know, particularly right now, summer 2025, what changes we need to make as artists to understand Instagram better. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be awesome.
Resources, inspiring interviews, business practices, and practical advice to take your art career to the next level. Join Sergio Gomez in today's Artist Next Level and get ready to take control of your career.
Well, hello, my friend. As I mentioned at the start, let's talk about Instagram. I'm doing this series of short episodes where I share kind of something that I'm thinking about each week. So, this week I'm thinking about Instagram and how much it has changed, over the last few months. I would say within the last year, 6 months, a lot of things have changed on Instagram. And I wanted to kind of go over a little bit of some of those things, some of the changes that I've seen, some of the things that I have also experienced myself working with Instagram. I use it every day, to kind of give you a quick run on how I use Instagram. I use it every day. I post something every day except Sundays. Sundays I take off a day off from my socials typically, just to kind of get away, just spend time with the family, no disruptions from social media. But typically Monday through Saturday, I post at least once. I post in my account, Sergio Gomez Art, which is my account where I share everything about what I'm doing, not only my art, but also curatorial projects, ideas, videos, education, etc. Then I post on 33 Contemporary Gallery. Typically, we post there at least 5 times a week. Then in the Art Next Level account, I post also about 3 or 4 times a week. And in my Sergio Gomez Paintings, which is an Instagram account only for my paintings, on that one, I post just about, I would say, maybe 4 times a week. So that kind of gives you an idea of how I use it. So I see a lot of Instagram in different accounts and how it's behaving. And I wanted to kind of share with you some of my insights right now, because I think they can help us all. Instagram is still, I think, a very important platform. In the last year, we saw new platforms show up. Blue Sky is one, and a couple others who are slowly gaining momentum from people who kind of like were tired of Meta and Facebook and Instagram, and they kind of wanted an alternative. And they've been at it. I haven't heard anything else like they're growing rapidly. All these social media platforms, they grow really fast, the first month, because that's when they are new. But then they tend to get stagnant and then kind of slow their reach. So I still feel that Instagram, is very important for artists. Is where the art world meets, galleries, curators, collectors. That's where we go, to look at art and to follow artists. So I think it's very, very important for artists for us to still have a presence there on Instagram. So what things have changed? I think the biggest change that has come to Instagram is the biggest one, I would say, is the algorithms. Algorithms have totally changed the game on Instagram. It used to be that, you would follow somebody on Instagram and then you would see more of their work or that person's content, I should say. And until you found a person that you follow, you would probably never see their post, until you follow somebody else. So content was given to you depending on who you follow. Then that's many years ago. Then the algorithms got better over time, and they begin to learn about how we behave on the platform and began to show us more of the content that it thinks we would like. And sporadically will show us more. Well, then something happened a few years ago. You remember, TikTok came along and totally changed the game of social media. They came up with this ultra fast, ultra crazy, smart algorithm, and TikTok changed the game for all social medias. It went into video mode, fast, short, punchy, quickly, boom, 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 give me more, give me more, give me more. And it became like this place where TikTok became almost like this quick instant gratification of, more and more content really fast, and it was giving you a lot of things quickly. So Instagram had to catch up, right? They could not be left behind, so they introduced Instagram Reels, which that's when they went full vertical format with video, and that totally changed Instagram as well, right? So Instagram became more video format preferred, where now you have tons of reels that we all create and all watch. So algorithms have changed, in all these different transition points. And today the algorithm is very smart in that it analyzes your content. Whatever you put there, it's a painting, a video of you talking, or a video of you in the studio. It analyzes the content of your post, analyzes the voice. It recognizes what you're saying in the post. It knows what you're talking about in the caption, and uses all that data to try to find an audience that likes that particular content to show it to. So what that has created is now a situation where you and I, we no longer see only the posts from people we follow, but if you will actually notice, today more than ever, you will see a lot of content, meaning posts and videos, from people that you do not follow, perhaps that you didn't know they existed. And here's what happens with the algorithm, right? The way it works. So if you, let's say you had never seen my posts or my reels. So one day you're browsing on Instagram, all of a sudden you see one of my videos, me talking about, social media or whatever. And you watch it for a few seconds. You're like, oh, this guy is interesting. And then you move on, right? You haven't followed me, but because you stay there and either you watch the entire video, or you save the video, or you shared it to your stories, or you shared it to a friend, which you did, or you liked it when you did any of those things, Instagram is gonna say, oh, this person likes Sergio's video. So next time Sergio puts a video, I'm gonna show that, that piece of content to that person again. See if they still like Sergio, right? So tomorrow you come to Instagram and then you see my next video. And then tomorrow you come and you watch it and you like it, or maybe you save it, or you just watch the whole thing. And then tomorrow will be the same. So you could now have that experience where you're seeing all my videos, even with you even clicking the follow button, right? So I could still be totally unfollowed by you, and yet you will still be able to see all my posts, right? That's how the algorithms are working today. So that's a game changer, because people are no longer following as many new accounts as they used to. It was a time where, if I wanted to see more of your videos, I would have to follow you, otherwise I would probably not see them. Not anymore. The algorithms know exactly what you're watching, know exactly the activity that you're doing, and therefore, people are following less and less and less. So that is important to know, right? Because if you feel like, oh, nobody's watching my videos or my content because I don't have enough followers, well, that's not as important anymore, because you can have one piece of content today, and I've seen this from other artists too, and other people, that all of a sudden, you do a reel that all of a sudden has some virality in some way, and even if you only have 300 followers, that video can get 100,000 views. If it's a video that people like, and that's the key. We say, oh, the algorithms don't like me, or Instagram doesn't like me. It's not that. It's really that the audience that's watching it did not vote with their thumbs up for that piece of content that you and I put. And so if I put a video that I think is awesome, but nobody thinks else is awesome, only that my 20 best friends think it's awesome, then that video is not going to go anywhere. You're just going to get 50 views and that's it, right? Versus if all of a sudden I do a video that for some strange reason sometimes, people like it, then all of a sudden it gets virality, and a lot of people watch it or save it or like it, right? Or share it with a friend, and Instagram says, oh, this one's good. We're going to show it to more people. So that's what's different right now. And that's something for all of us to understand, that, there's opportunity, to be seen, even if you don't have a lot of followers. But also the quality of the content now needs to be really thought out. The first 3 seconds of your video are the most important, right? Is what kind of hook you create so that people, stay there, and then what happens in the next 6 to 8 seconds after the hook that will decide them to stay and watch the whole thing or not, right? So if I start a video with, hey guys, super happy, I'm here, in my studio, and it's a beautiful day, so I'm adding all this information, but I don't say what the video is going to be about, people are not going to stay. 3 seconds later, like, okay, forget it, this guy's taking too long, I don't know what it's about, next, right? Versus if I start the video and say, hey guys, you don't have to use hashtags anymore. Now all of a sudden I get your attention, like, what? I don't have to use hashtags anymore? And then I tell you why, right? Or, hey guys, I just delivered my biggest painting to the gallery. So like, what? Your biggest painting? Let me see, right? So things like that. Or, hey guys, or like, could be something like, today I use a new paint that I had never seen before. Check it out. So now the first 3 seconds, you're calling the attention for something unique, different. Now I want to see it. And then you deliver it right after with the content, the information, the visuals. So that's kind of what's new. And another thing that's also different, again, this is just all for information, right? So we can get better. I don't think it's about posting more. It's just going to be more thoughtful about how we post and what we post and what we say. Another thing that I think is super important now is the amount of content is now staggeringly high because of AI. So artificial intelligence came along. There are so many apps now that you can do videos in seconds. There are apps that can put voice to your videos without you saying a word. There are apps that can create videos, that can create pictures. AI can create captions, can do everything. So that means that, there's a lot of content that is being done every single day, every minute, every hour, every second, that is just being pushed to all of us really fast. And there's not enough viewership, I think, to watch it all, I think. And therefore, it's harder to compete. So you may have a really good video, but because there's so much content around, may not get as much visibility as it would have gotten, let's say, if it was 2 years ago. Because now it's so saturated. Now the video has to be incredibly amazing for it to get like virality, like really, really a lot of views. So those are the things to keep in mind. So what do we do as our, and one more thing before we go into some advice that can help us. Another thing that has also changed a lot is the CEO of Instagram, Adam Mosseri. He's continually doing Q&A sessions, and in one of the most recent Q&A sessions a week ago, they asked him about hashtags. Hey, Adam, what's the latest on hashtags? If I use more hashtags, will it help me reach more people? That was kind of like the question. And he said, no, hashtags are not needed to get more reach because the algorithms are smart. So you don't need to add 30 hashtags like it used to be, or 20 hashtags in order to get more reach. So the hashtags are useful. They are used for your audience to know what your content is about. Hashtags are useful also if you want to link different pieces of content. Let's say, you have a new series, so you use a hashtag for that series, like, the new mountain series by Sergio Gomez. That could be a hashtag. Every time I use that hashtag, all the videos or pieces of content that has that hashtag, if you click in the hashtag, you'll be able to see them all. That's a way of linking videos, right? But it doesn't really return in more reach or more visibility. It could also be useful for search. If you're searching for something or you're searching for a hashtag, well, that'll be there. But again, even in searches now, algorithms are looking at what piece of content would be the most relevant for the question that you post in the search versus the hashtags, right? So you don't need to worry about hashtags anymore. I'm not worrying about hashtags anymore. I put maybe 1 or 2, sometimes 3 hashtags if I need to. But yeah, I'm not putting more hashtags anymore. I think hashtags are, like I said, they're not as important. So don't waste time hashtags. I said this the other day on Instagram, and somebody said, "Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this free time, Sergio. Now that you said I don't have to think about hashtags." So yeah, for many artists, it was very time consuming to think about the hashtag thing. So anyway, so what can we do as artists? Well, I think one of the more powerful tools Instagram has is the tool that most people don't see because it's behind the scenes. That's the DM, right? The direct messaging. Still, Instagram is really good at direct messaging. So if you connect with people through direct messaging, Instagram is going to make sure to show your content to those people. So here's a trick, right? Let's say there's a collector or a curator that you are in communication with, and that person has a hashtag, an Instagram account, and you know what it is. Follow them. Once in a while, send them a message through DM, and what's going to happen if that person replies to you, Instagram is going to say, oh, these two people are connected. I'm going to make sure to show more of each other's posts to each other, right? So that they can stick longer in the platform because their friends, they can see what their friends are doing, the people that they're currently in conversations with. And I have tested this many times, and I have also shared it with many artists, and it works really, really well. So for you, again, use DMs as much as possible, particularly for people you want to stay visible to, connect with. It works. It really, really works. The other thing, again, is don't get overwhelmed with social media. If you need a break, take a break from Instagram and from all the other ones. Nobody's going anywhere. If I don't post for 3 days, it's not like I'm gonna lose followers or everybody's gonna miss me. When I go back and start posting, they would have never noticed that I wasn't even posting. Right? Why? Because there's so much content out there, and also I have other content, that I have put in the past that not everybody has seen. So, it's still showing as well. So if you're making reels, think about the first 3 seconds, think about the next 6 seconds, how you keep people engaged, and look at what others are doing to see if you get an idea of something that you could do, right? And stay positive, stay relevant. I know sometimes it could be a waste of time. So that, I did a workshop last month where I was talking to artists about branding and social media, and one piece of advice that some artists afterwards, thanked me for was this advice of, before you go to Instagram or TikTok or whatever platform you use for your social, the one that you spend the most time, before you open the app, think about, am I going right now as me, Sergio Gomez, to socialize, have a good time, or am I going to work as an artist, right? So if the answer is I'm going to work, then I'm not going to spend any time browsing and looking at everybody. I'm just going to go right away, click on post, select my post, work on my caption, work on my thumbnail, work on what I want to say, what I want to do, post it, and then as soon as it's posted, share it to my stories and move on. Close the app, go on with what else I have to do next. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of time. At the same token, when I'm in lunchtime and I just want to see what's happening, what my friends are doing, I say, okay, right now I'm not working on Instagram. I'm just going to enjoy it as a person, right? And so I go, and whatever time I spend, it's up to me, right? It's my time versus my work time, promoting my work and my art and my activity. So if you do that more often, you will find that it becomes more enjoyable. You don't feel guilty when all of a sudden you realize that, I spent 30 minutes instead of 10, because you are conscious about what you are there for. So hopefully this helps you, my friend. Hopefully you find it useful. And these are, again, things that are evolving, continue to change. There are more changes coming to Instagram. It seems like every 2 weeks there's a new feature or a new button or a new something. So, just keep an eye on what's new. Every time that you see something new, click on it, be curious, see what it does. You're not going to break the app. Nothing's going to happen. And just try it out and see what's new, what works for you. And then just keep sharing your work, because it's important, because, the art that you make is valuable, and we want to share it with the world, right? So keep going for it. And if you enjoy this message, let me know on Instagram. Go to Instagram and send me a comment, send me a message, and I'll be happy to connect there with you as well. Find me at Sergio Gomez Art. Have a great day, my friend. I will see you at the next level.
Check out our website at www.theartistnextlevel.com, where you will find our podcast library, learn about our upcoming webinars, find resources relevant to your career, and much more. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next level.